As I'm getting ready to jump into 2021, I'm doing a quick look back at everything I sewed in 2020. I'm Sharon with Sharon Sews. And before we get started, I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for joining me on my sewing journey in 2020. I started the year as a pretty new YouTube channel, had only been online 2 months, and you have helped me grow to almost 3,000 subscribers. And I thank you for that. I'm very appreciative. The dress that I'm wearing is about 8904 and it is from 2013. I actually did not sew this in 2020. I sewed it in 2013. But I know many of y'all ask what I'm wearing, so I just want to let you know this is what the dress pattern is. One thing this video did that I found very helpful, I was able to easily see what style works on me, what colors work on me, what I feel comfortable in. And moving forward into 2021, I'm going to focus more on what I loved. I do have the video set up in categories: jackets, dresses, pants, and skirts. And I have timestamps in the description. So if you only want to go to one category, go hit the timestamp and do so. Now, on to the video fashion show of everything I sewed in 2020.
The Billy dress, designed by Tabitha Sewer. I was a tester for this pattern, so I did make another version in a rayon challis, but this one is by far my favorite, out of a silky print that I purchased at S.R. Harris. Oh, I just feel so great wearing this. Vogue 8379 is a knit wrap dress. This was a collaboration I did on YouTube with Carmen Salome back in January. This dress is just a very simple sew. It's actually flattering. I think a wrap dress is flattering on everybody. And after I finished sewing this one, I said I was going to sew myself another one, but I didn't. I think because of how all of our lifestyles changed, and I just didn't need another dress last year. But I think 2021, another one is going to be sewn. This knit maxi dress saw a lot of wear during the summer. It's basically a t-shirt that's been lengthened to a maxi dress with a really fun hemline and pockets. I definitely wear the pink one more than the tie-dye one. When I found this rainbow striped challis fabric at Fabrictopia, I knew I wanted to make a maxi dress. The wrap dress is a little difficult to wear, but it's beautiful. I pulled this maxi dress out quite often during the summer. I love the ruffles, and I actually love that it has a contrast fabric ruffle. The only thing I don't like is the rayon challis does need to be ironed. McCall 7969 was a collaboration on YouTube with Carmen Salome and Today in Jen's Sewing Room. We all decided to sew this same dress in different fabrics and review it. I absolutely love mine. I wasn't sure if I could get by with a baby doll dress, but I got to tell you, I wore it a few times this past summer and I could see myself pulling it out again next spring. The sleeves are fabulous. This dress was another YouTube collaboration with Carmen and Jen. We used the very same fabric from Hawaii Fabric Mart and challenged ourselves to sew a dress using a pre-1990 pattern. I chose a pattern from 1980 with the dress I had sewn because we were going to take a trip to Florida to see some family members. And of course, we all know what happened in 2020. We were all pretty much housebound for most of the year. So the dress really didn't see a lot of wear. And here you can see what it looks like belted and unbelted. It's kind of like a muumuu. The Itch to Stitch Antrim knit dress is just an incredibly comfortable knit dress. I pattern tested this one for the designer and loved it so much that I sewed myself a second version, the floral version. What I discovered though is that the stripe with the floral is the one I pulled out most often. Another Itch to Stitch dress that I raved about when I did my pattern review is the Celeste dress. I absolutely love this dress. I pulled it out at least once a week this summer and even just wore it around the house. So incredibly comfortable. And I just kind of smacked myself in the forehead because why have I not sewn myself another one yet? I love the idea and comfort of a knit skirt. And this is the Balboa skirt from Itch to Stitch. I did a pattern testing on this one and sewed myself 3 of them. One of them I have already given away as a gift, but just a very comfortable, fun skirt. Vogue 1694 was a good idea gone bad. The sizing is wrong for me. It just doesn't fit right. And I thought I looked really good in it. and it feels really comfortable until I saw photos of myself and decided that I need to do some work on it before I wear it again. Another good idea gone bad. Just a reminder, pattern placement matters, people. It'll be a beach cover-up instead of a dress. This jacket is another favorite. And when I've received this fabric from Minerva.com, I knew it was meant for this jacket. It's an unlined swing jacket, very, very fun to wear. It does button all the way up with a high collar. I usually leave it unbuttoned. I just don't like things up my neck. I like the bell sleeves. I wish I had added pockets, which is what I'm telling you there. Other than that, love the jacket, love the fabric, just very fun to wear. So maybe a pink faux fur jacket isn't the most practical jacket to have in Texas. I don't care. I love it. I only get to wear it a couple times in the winter, and it is so cuddly and so soft, and I'm happy I sewed it. This is probably the 5th faux fur jacket that I've sewn in my lifetime. Another impractical pink jacket is my sequin bomber jacket. A little bit longer length without the ribbing at the bottom, fully lined, and it has pockets. It's great to throw on with a t-shirt and a pair of jeans. That I started sewing a couple years ago and finished it this year, one of my whip projects. It's a Sandra Betzina design from Vogue Patterns. It's got a peplin and it is fully lined. And I added some piping along the collar just so you can see that collar a little bit more, and spent quite a bit of time on this one. You might remember from my review video that there were 2 closures at the center front, and on video, one of them broke as I was showing them off to you. This animal print cape coat was another one of my whip projects that I completed this year. I had to take everything apart and resew it because the fabric had raveled so much. This one receives a lot of wear. It's the right weight for our weather, and I like the shorter sleeves. I just sometimes need to toss something on when I'm running to the grocery store. This gold jacket has some sparkle to it. Unfortunately, the sparkle stays behind wherever I go when I wear it, so it doesn't get worn very often. I do like the shape of it. I like the fit, and of course, I love those sleeves. This floral knit wrap jacket is actually a vintage 1970s Betsy Johnson design. I was looking at my collection of vintage Betsy Johnson patterns and noticed that the wrap jackets were very similar to what was being shown in the pattern catalogs. So I just pulled one out and sewed it. And I have discovered that I do not wear it belted, and I do not wear it with the matching floral knit pants that I sewed because it looks like pajamas. I wear it with a t-shirt and jeans. See what I mean? This looks like pajamas, doesn't it? Like a lounging outfit. This jacket was another collaboration I did, this time with Tea of Crumpets Tea and Sewing YouTube channel. I didn't have enough fabric to make the longer version as I would have liked to. I used an embroidery floss and did a button stitch along the entire edge just to give it a little more detail. The pants pattern is an out-of-print Sandra Betzina design from Vogue Patterns, and it's called the puzzle pants because you can see that cool seaming along the front edge. I used a faux leather, and these are a really great basic to throw on with a tunic. This is an Issei Miyake design from a Vogue Pattern vintage 80s. You could definitely see that oversized 80s look. I had sewn this jacket about 3 years ago just to test the fit, and then sewed it again this summer. This is a seersucker. I think I would have liked something a little bit drapier. Those flaps can be worn buttoned in the front, as I had shown you, or completely unbuttoned. I tend to wear the jacket unbuttoned, but the flaps have pockets sewn into them. How fun is that? This jacket pattern is one that I have sewn over and over and over and over because depending on your fabric, it looks different every single time. The one on the left is a silk print from S.R. Harris. The fringe, I took it off of a skirt years ago, and I think it looks great on the jacket. And the one on the right is just a novelty knit sheer mesh fabric. Both are just a delight to wear, something to throw on with jeans and a tee. This pair of pants, loved the idea of them, love how they feel when I wear them, and I wore them twice. I might sew another pair in a plain colored linen. I was really into the wide leg pant trend this past year. And honestly, I could never find the right top to pair with it. So they were worn 0 times. I'm kind of disappointed about that because they were really fun to sew and I think they're really fun pants, but I'm still looking for the right top. This pants pattern from McCall's is my favorite. I've sewn 6 of them so far, including this one with the great big ruffle and the side slit out of a floral linen. Now, the one on the right, the border print, kind of a silky print cropped, I donated those. I ended up not liking them much at all. But the other ones, I just need to take them apart and take them in because they're now too big and I love them. This is another pair of pants that I absolutely loved the design of. And both pairs that I sewed are too large and I need to take them apart and re-sew them. I actually donated the black pair because I wasn't wearing them often at all. But I do like this floral pair. It's a home dec fabric. It's this hem that I am in love with. A staple in my wardrobe last summer was this pair of white pants. They're just a teeny tiny bit too large now, and I think I will probably just donate them and sew myself another pair because they're such a quick sew. I had also sewn a pair of large floral, longer length shorts that I never wore, and those have already been donated. The knit jumpsuit with the sequin top was just an impractical sew, but it was fun. The elastic in the waistline does need to be taken in because it is a little large, and because of that, I have not been wearing it. I do like it with something over it better, and I found this Sewing Workshop Vintage 90s jacket that I had never finished. All it needs is buttons, and honestly, I think I'm just going to leave the buttons off and wear it flowy and open as is. I've never been a huge fan of sweatshirts, but 2020 was definitely the year to become a fan, and this is one of my favorites. I pull this one out, wear it at least once a week. I love the color and I love the weight of it. This top was a Sew the Look video that I did for the hashtag Sew a Top, hosted by Penguin and Pear DIY Sewing YouTube channel. It was inspired by designer top, however, I never wore it. Maybe this spring, we'll see. This little top from a vintage 79 pattern is one that I expected to wear more often than I did. The fabric's very lightweight, it's very flowy, it works well on the design, and honestly, I think I only pulled it out and wore it 4 times. Out of all of the knit tops I sewed last year, this one is the one I pulled out and wore most often. It's a perfect weight, it's a rayon blend, it's got that fun little details that the Sewing Workshop tends to be known for, and it just is a winner in my book. If you haven't figured it out by now, I like things with a little bit of a detail, a little bit of a flair. And that's why I thought I would really love this McCall's Cape top. So really this was more of testing the pattern, and I like it. I never wore it, and I'm going to make it again, but I am going to need to make some adjustments in the front because it does pull up, making it uncomfortable. This is one of those tops that I loved the idea and the fabric, but I don't love it on me. And I think what it is, thanks to feedback from all of you when I first posted it, I need to remove those black sleeves. It's too much and it's distracting from the rest of the design. So I'm going to work on that and hopefully get a lot of wear of it this year. This little cropped tie front top is the best layering piece. After I sewed it and I found how often I was wearing it, I kept telling myself, sew another one, sew another one. So of course, I haven't done that yet, but that's on my plans for this year. I actually had 2 knit tops that I wore over and over and over. And the second one I wore all the time is this black tie front top. And it's actually designed for wovens, and I've sewn it 3 times in knits, and I think it works just fine. The pants, I don't think I've ever shared them with you. That's a stretch denim. They're wide leg pants. I was trying to do design detail by leaving them open. I'm going to go back and stitch them up. I enjoyed sewing this capsule, but the only pieces I wear are the pink jacket and the camo sweater. I used to contribute to Sew News and Sew It All magazines, so it was especially fun for me to design this reversible apron, it says naughty or nice, and create a video tutorial for you. Check it out. You got plenty of time to sew on for next year.
As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I was surprised at my highest make for 2020. I expected the category that I sewed the most was going to be tops. And it wasn't. It was coats and jackets. Well, of course, if you don't count in the masks. I think many of us sewed a lot of masks. So eliminating that category, what was the thing that you sewed the most of in 2020? I would love to hear. Leave it in a comment below for me. I also want to thank you again from the bottom of my heart for being with me on my sewing journey on this channel through 2020. I started 2020 as a very new sewing channel, and we're now up to almost 3,000 subscribers. Thank you. I appreciate each and every one of you that stops and watches my video, that leaves a comment, that leaves a thumbs up, or that has subscribed. If you haven't subscribed, why don't you do so right now? And if you found this video enjoyable, helpful, fun, or you just want to support me, give it a thumbs up. Here's to a fabulous 2021. Happy sewing. Oh boy, here comes the tearing down part. Now I have to take all of these and put them back into the closet where they came from. If you haven't subscribed,